Ever since the iPhone 11 Pro was introduced in 2019, Apple has looked for various ways to differentiate the Pro series from the rest of the lineup. So far, we've seen features such as the telephoto camera, the ProMotion display, different materials, Pro photo and video formats, and more. This year, it feels like more than ever, the iPhone 17 Pro is worthy of its title. This is William from Wink Tech, and in this video I'm going to be giving you my review of the iPhone 17 Pro as someone who is upgrading from the 13 Pro. Although the 13 Pro has served me well since its release, I felt it was time to upgrade, and I think the 17 Pro was the perfect phone to upgrade to. These days, iPhones only improve each year iteratively, so I don't recommend upgrading yearly for most people. But if you wait for a few years, there will be more to look forward to when you upgrade. For me personally, I've seen improvements in a few major areas, which I'll touch on. Before I do that, let's just take a quick look at some of the specs of the iPhone 17 Pro. For the 17 Pro this year, we have the A19 Pro chipset with a 6-core CPU and a 6-core GPU. We have 12GB of RAM, which is an upgrade from last year's 8GB, starting at 256GB of storage up to an insane 2TB, a 4252 mAh battery, an 18 megapixel selfie camera, and a 3-lens camera system with 48 megapixels on all 3 cameras, which I'll go into more detail about later. Performance is definitely improved on the 17 Pro compared to previous iPhones thanks to that A19 Pro chip. However, this year Apple has included a vapor chamber and switched materials once again to aluminum to allow more efficient cooling. In real-world usage, this translates to much better sustained performance and less overheating. One thing I noticed on my iPhone 13 Pro was just how much it was overheating when using it in direct sunlight or using it for long periods of time. So far, I have not noticed the 17 Pro getting warm at all, even when gaming or exporting a lot of photos in Lightroom. So I'd say the new cooling system is definitely working as intended. The RAM upgrade to 12GB is also very welcome, as having more RAM can never hurt and will only mean better multitasking and being able to keep more apps open in the background. The RAM upgrade likely means Apple is planning on utilizing it for some new Apple Intelligence features. However, I'll not be discussing Apple Intelligence in my review, as I have not personally found it to be useful on my Mac Mini and have not even installed it on my 17 Pro. Moving on to battery life, this is probably the second biggest upgrade that the 17 Pro has brought me over the 13 Pro. At the time of upgrading, my battery was significantly degraded and I was only getting about 4 to 5 hours of screen on time before needing to charge. While the battery is better when it was new, it doesn't seem to have held up as well as I had hoped. On the other hand, the 17 Pro battery has been fantastic. On a very heavy day, I was able to get about 7 hours of screen on time, but I usually end the day with about 30 to 40% battery, which is really solid in my opinion. It's worth noting as well that Apple has improved the charging speeds on the 17 Pros with up to a 50% charge in 20 minutes when using a 40 watt or higher charging brick. This means that not only should you get reliable all-day battery life, but on those heavier days or times when you forget to charge, you'll have some faster charging to get you a charge fairly quickly. Moving on to the design, we have something different this year, at least compared to the last few generations of Pro iPhones. Rather than the smaller camera island, we have what Apple is calling an extended camera plateau, which takes up nearly the full width of the phone. I'm not gonna lie, based on the early renders of the 17 Pro, I was not really a fan of the design, but after seeing it in person, it has kind of grown on me. The 17 Pro surprisingly only comes in 3 colors: silver, cosmic orange, and deep blue. I opted for the deep blue color as I usually go for the black or gray option, and this was the closest. I'm sort of puzzled as to why Apple did not give a matte black option here, but I have to say the deep blue is pretty nice and I'm happy with my choice. Another big design change with the 17 Pro is the all-aluminum unibody build, which is a change from the glass sandwich design that was being used previously. It also has a glass cutout in the back for MagSafe and wireless charging, and overall the design is very functional and gives the iPhone its most utilitarian look yet, which I'm not unhappy about. The only downside I can think of is that the aluminum build will be less durable in the long run when compared to the previous titanium or stainless steel Pro iPhones. Although in my opinion, the trade-off for better thermals is worth it. Finally, let's talk cameras. The cameras are probably the biggest reason, if not the only reason, to get the Pro iPhone over the regular one. To start, we have a 3-lens camera system in the rear consisting of a wide, ultra-wide, and telephoto lens, all of which now have a resolution of 48 megapixels. The increased resolution means better flexibility for digital crops such as 2x and 8x, as well as different simulated focal lengths for the main cameras, such as 24, 28, and 32 millimeters. I've really been enjoying shooting with these cameras. The flexibility and quality of these cameras are by far the best in the iPhone so far. The new 48 megapixel telephoto means that you can get an 8x digital crop with a resolution of 12 megapixel, so a lot of detail is still preserved. Here are some photo samples from the 17 Pro. As you can see, you get pretty good images in complete auto mode, which is good for most everyday photos and quick shooting. However, if you want to dive into features like Pro RAW with some editing, you can get some pretty amazing images out of the 17 Pro. This is really great for people like me who don't like to bring their camera with them everywhere, and allows me to get great photos no matter where I am and in almost any lighting conditions. Additionally, the 17 Pro also has some new photographic styles and even allows you to make your own custom styles, which I know a lot of photographers will love. Even more impressive than the stills from this camera is probably the video. In regular mode, the videos capture a ton of detail and have insanely impressive stabilization, even at the 8x crop. You can see this video I took on a boat, which was very shaky and insanely hard to keep the subject in frame, but the phone handled it no problem. For pros, you also get a ton of features like ProRAW Video, Apple Prolog, and other formats for filmmaking. Although I probably won't use these features as much since I don't take a ton of videos on my phone, I know a lot of content creators and filmmakers will make good use of these features. It's amazing what kind of footage you can get from this iPhone with the Pro formats and a little editing, or a lot. This brings me to my conclusion. Is it worth buying the 17 Pro over the regular 17 or even the Air? For me personally, the 17 Pro is absolutely worth it for two main reasons: the excellent battery life and the solid Pro camera system. However, unlike previous years, I think the regular 17 is a more compelling choice from a value perspective, with Apple bringing it closer to the Pro with a 120Hz ProMotion display and 256GB base storage. The other unique offering we have from Apple is the iPhone Air, but in my opinion, it is almost in a category of its own, being geared more towards people who care about aesthetics and don't use their phone heavily. Overall, I would say if you're looking for the best that the iPhone has to offer, and you really need the best battery and camera system, then the iPhone 17 Pro is for you. But if you're having a tough time finding an excuse to get the Pro over the regular 17, I tell you to save your money and get 90% of the Pro experience in the iPhone 17. Well, that's it for this iPhone 17 Pro review. Please let me know in the comments whether you're upgrading to the iPhone 17 series or are considering buying one. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more videos like this. This has been William from WinkTech, and I'll see you in the next video.